Today we're going to be making Chelsea buns. Finger licking good. Let's go. We need 1 cup warm milk, a half a cup warm water, sugar, melted butter, salt, an egg, some instant yeast, and flour. Okay, so to start with, we take our warm milk. It doesn't have to be too hot, just warm. Add in our warm water, a 1/4 cup of sugar, 1/4 cup of sugar, 1/4 cup of melted butter, and our instant yeast. Let's just give it a good mix. And we'll set that aside for the yeast to bloom or mature. So while we're waiting for the yeast, we'll take our flour and we add in 1 teaspoon of salt. And we just mix that in. Okay. And now we wait for the yeast mixture so that we can add it into our flour. Okay, so it's been about 15 minutes that we've left the yeast mixture. There you can see how beautiful it looks, all foamed up and ready. To this mixture we're going to add in 1 egg, and just mix it again. We're now going to take our flour, make a little well in the center, and pour our mixture in. Okay, and then we just mix it all in. Just mix it well until it forms a nice soft dough. Keep going, your feet starting to firm up until you reach a point where we're now going to go in with our hands. It is a bit sticky at first, but as you mix it, it will start to firm up. Okay, so we continue mixing that in. If you find the mixture is a bit too sticky, take a little flour and sprinkle it on your hands and just work it in. What you also need to do is empty this out onto a clean surface so that we can knead it in. Okay, and then we just knead the dough. As you can see, it's forming into a nice little ball. Okay, so once we're done kneading, take our bowl, lightly floured, put it in there and let it rest a bit. Should be for about 15 to 20 minutes. It will double in size. You can take a clean cloth or something and just cover it. See you in a little while. Welcome back, guys. So it's been about 30 minutes. We've had the dough resting and let's take a look. Wow, look at that. It's more than doubled in size. That is perfect. Okay, so we're just going to knock it down. And on a lightly floured surface, we're just going to take it out. Knead it a bit. And we're ready to roll it out. This dough, when we roll it, we're going to roll it more long and not round. Okay, there we have the dough rolled out long ways. You don't want to roll it too thin as well. On this, we will now put some butter, some sugar. I'm using brown sugar. You can use any sugar that you have. Some cinnamon. And some mixed spice. To that, we'll add in some raisins. If you don't like raisins or any of that, you can leave it out. And then I also like to add in some chocolate chip. Now to roll it up. So we'll start at one end and slowly just fold it over about 1 to 1.5 centimeters, and from there we'll roll it further. Take a dish where you're going to use for baking and just grease it with some melted butter. We'll now cut the roll that we made. To cut the roll, I'll use about 2 fingers space. Now place them in your greased pan, but allow some space between them as the dough is still going to rise. And there we go. Let's cover it and let it stand for a little, maybe 10 to 15 minutes, just for it to rise out a bit before we bake. Okay, so the Chelsea buns are ready to go into the oven. It's a preheated oven, 150 degrees. We're going to bake for about 20 to 25 minutes. You just need to keep an eye, depending on your oven. We just want the top to be a nice golden brown. Let's bake. Okay, so it's been 25 minutes. I've just taken out the Chelsea buns from the oven. Look at that. Doesn't that look delicious? So if you remember me telling you to leave spaces when you were setting out, look how it has expanded and filled up all of those gaps. We're now going to leave it to cool before we put the glaze on the top. See you in a bit. Okay, so buns have now cooled down and it's time to make the sugar glaze for the top. In here I have 2 cups of icing sugar and some water. We're going to add water slowly, maybe 1 or 2 tablespoons at a time, and just whisk it up. Remember not to add too much water because you don't want it to become too runny. You need a thick, syrupy consistency. Nice and thick, not too runny. If you make it too thin, it gets soaked in and absorbed into the buns. I think like that would be perfect. Using a spoon, you can then just drizzle it over the buns. And there we have it. Our Chelsea buns are done. Something I should mention is from our original recipe, I divided it in half, and this is only half the recipe. The other half I put in an airtight container and put it in the refrigerator to be baked in a day or two's time. Let's get tasting. Finger licking good. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. Remember, if I can do it, so can you. See you in the next video.